episode of FML, and this is a 1986 Mercedes 300E with a manual transmission. Very rare, only 1,800 produced within a 3-year production span, so let's take a closer look. First, I'd like to thank the owners for letting me come out here and film. This is way better than a trailer court. Also, as a reminder, I have a Facebook page dedicated to your financial mistakes. So check it out on Facebook. I'm going to leave a link for the group in the section. In the details below. I don't know what I'm doing. And you guys be sure to share your financial mistakes. I would love to see them. And depending on how big of a financial mistake you got going on, I'm sure a lot of other people want to see it too. All 7 people are currently a part of this group, so check it out. So like I said, 1,800 of these built for the US market with a manual transmission. 3 years, I think it was like the first year was 800, and then it just sharply declined after that. These were a luxury car back then. Nobody wanted a manual transmission in their luxury car, and so there just were not the orders in for these. But as you can see, it is in very good shape. Not what I usually buy. But I saw this on Marketplace and jumped into the truck and trailer and drove all the way to Michigan, which round trip came out to be about 1,200 miles. And I must say it was worth it. So let's go inside and take a look. Beautiful red interior. The trim is perfect. And this, a manual transmission. How lovely is that? Don't forget, we are rocking a 1995 CD changer from Alpine. This was probably like a $1,200 option back then. This is around when CD changers were coming out. And to top it all off, it came with a remote control. Car's not on. This is 160,000 miles on the clock, so I would like it to be a little bit lower mileage, but clearly this car has been taken care of, and I'm going to go over what I have done underneath the hood and everything else. So here's our 3-liter inline 6. Great motor, but in my ownership we had a little bit of a leaky valve cover gasket, so we've got the valve cover gasket changed. I changed out all the plugs. This is new. This is new. Cap and rotor are new. This is new, which is very, very hard to find. We got all our filters changed, and it has a new exhaust system. And now I'm going to explain how this car has ended up in my hands. So the story goes how I acquired this car. The previous owner, the gentleman that I bought this car from, worked at a wrecking yard. Somebody brought this car in to be scrapped, to be junked. I think it was like one of those like pole parts places. But he was kind enough to see that this thing was in very good shape. And so he bought it and listed it. I saw it, and when I saw it on Marketplace, it looked just like a regular Mercedes. Nothing special, but then I saw that manual transmission and I knew I had to have it. So a couple exchanges of messages and a lot of, is this available? We agreed on a price. I came down there, I gave him some money down, and picked the car up. And I've actually had this car for about 3 months. We're at 3 months of me waiting for parts, and I decided not to make any videos on this car of me doing general maintenance. There's a lot of bugs out here. And you guys may have noticed that I didn't make any videos of me doing any work to this car, and that's because I have been super busy with my personal life, trying to find a house, trying to find a garage, trying to find a place to park all my cars, because I kind of lost that as well. So that would explain the 2-month stint of no videos. So we're back on track, we're getting refocused, and come out with some more content. So enough of me talking, let's get in the car and take it for a drive. But first, some drone action. But seriously, I paid too much money for this drone, so I'm going to utilize it as much as I can in my video, so be prepared. plus I get some pretty good pictures out of the deal. Driving a manual Mercedes. Not very many people can say that, at least here in the United States. And that's how you shift while holding a camera. I actually haven't had to drive a manual car while recording video. Back to driving. This thing drives pretty good. We still have a little bit of a shake in the steering, but that can be remedied with all the bushings and stuff that I got. When we first bought it, the rear bushings were like completely worn out. Here's a picture. So as you can see, they were pretty worn out. They weren't that bad when I first started driving it, but I suspect that this car has sat in a garage somewhere for quite some time before it was acquired by the scrapyard. But this thing, I love driving. I love these old Mercedes, you guys. There's no words for it. I had an 85 BMW 5 Series. It was kind of one of the first cars that I owned, like number 10 in the list. That thing was phenomenal. That thing had 80,000 miles on it, and it was just pristine. It was a let's go with a 528 on this one. And straight six. The car, it did what it needed to do, and it was fabulous, just like this car. And my wagon is kind of fallen into disrepair. I need to redo the whole suspension on that, everything. When I first bought that thing, that'll be another video. Back to this thing. It drives great. I've heard reviews on this transmission, the manual, shifting in it, and I'm gonna have to agree with it. Someone said it's like stirring paint with a stick. It's pretty accurate description on what's going on here. I changed all the bushings in the shifting mechanism, thinking that it'll help it, but I think that's just the way it is. You're not going to be winning any races with this. There's no shifting quickly in this car. It's a cruiser, and to be honest, it is perfect for going down back roads, curvy roads, kind of like what we got going on here. There could be a little bit more curves, but this is what I got to work with, guys. But it would be perfect for it, just casually going through the turns and just windows down, the sunroof open, just enjoying life. And I've done that a few times. There are back roads that I take on my way to work, just try not to hit a pedestrian, that are curvy, and I was taking this car back and forth to work, but I was a little frightened because of deer taking this thing out and doing insurance claim on it. I got quite a bit of insurance on this car, which was a first for me, but honestly I have no complaints. I wish this is a car that I could keep. The only thing I do not like about this car is the exterior color. I just don't like these silvers, these beiges. Like, I just find those colors so boring. There's a few Mercedes, like maybe the older ones, that I would do in a silver color, but there's got to be some pretty spectacular circumstances for me to be like, I want to keep this silver car. Give me a blue, give me a green, give me a red, something metallic, something with pearl. And that's all I got to say about this drive. We're on our way back to our filming location. The car drives phenomenal. Heated seats work. Everything works in here like it should, except for the radio. Because what car would I own that doesn't have a working radio? And the windshield's not cracked. The windshield is not cracked in this car, guys. I know that's how I roll, but I actually got a car without a cracked windshield. Now watch me hit a rock. Also, the back window doesn't work. That doesn't work either. But the AC works, and the heat. That's something you don't get a lot of these days when you have whatever year old this car is. Can't math right. So now back to you, John, out in the field. And there you have it. Beautiful car. Still needs some suspension work to it. I forgot to add that I've redone the whole back, all the links in the back, and then I got all bushings and everything for the rest of the suspension, so that's gonna be for the new owner to do. I ran out of time. Ran out of place to put it. I wanted to fix everything up on it and make sure it was a perfect car, but it just was not in the cards. So maybe the next manual transmission W124 that I get, I'll be able to just put more time into it. On that, you guys, thanks for watching, and remember to keep making financial mistakes. Like this one.